Hello everyone, I'm Sophie and I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And this is the book that I'll be sharing from today, a new book, Be Greedy. A little guide to creating merit and living fearlessly. This is by my guru, His Eminence, the 25th Samtuku Rinpoche. I'll be reading a short biography of His Eminence Samtuku Rinpoche and also the preface of the book. So before that, as usual, I will go to a picture to share with you. There you go, the cover of the book, and it says Be Greedy. So I shared with you the picture of Buddha Zambala, who is the god of wealth. And of course other things, but a lot of people worship him, to get more wealth as well. Okay, page 10, His Eminence Samtuku Rinpoche, a short biography. Beloved for his unconventional contemporary approach to the Dharma, His Eminence Samtuku Rinpoche brings more than 2,500 years of Buddhist wisdom and teachings to the modern spiritual seeker by connecting ancient worlds with new people, cultures, attitudes, and lifestyles. A Mongolian Tibetan heritage, a childhood in Taiwan and in the United States of America, intensive monastic studies in India, and now the spiritual guide of the Kechara organization in Malaysia. These are but some of the many facets that contribute to Sam Rinpoche's unique ability to effortlessly bridge the East and the West. His teachings bring the Dharma to our everyday lives, and in doing so, he is able to bring the ancient time-honored Buddhist philosophies and practices into the 21st century. Sam Rinpoche has been strongly inclined towards Dharma since his early childhood and has studied under many great Buddhist masters of the Tibetan tradition. Sam Rinpoche eventually went on to receive his monastic education at Ganden Shatse Monastery, currently located in Mangot in South India. Following the advice of his beloved guru, His Holiness Kabje Zong Rinpoche, Sam Rinpoche took his vows as a monk from His Holiness the Dalai Lama and joined Ganden Shatse Monastery when he was in his early 20s. His two preceding incarnations, Gedun Nyadrak and Khentrul Rinpoche Thupten Langsang, had also studied at the original Ganden Shatse Monastery when it was then located in Tibet. There, they obtained Geshe Laram degrees before completing their studies at Gyuthong Tantric College. Gedun Nyadrak went on to become the lead chanter and later abbot of Ganden Monastery, while Khentrul Rinpoche brought the Dharma to the lay people of the Pari district of Tibet. The tremendous and virtuous work of his previous lifetimes can perhaps be reflected again in Sam Rinpoche's present-day activities in Malaysia, where he continues this selfless practice of teaching vast numbers of non-monastic communities in places where the Dharma has just begun to bloom. During his 9 years in Ganden, Sam Rinpoche was involved in extensive charitable works, including building schools for refugee children in India, building dormitories and upgrading living conditions for the monastic community, and providing long-term assistance to the poor lay community of Mangot. Now, based in Malaysia and Nepal, Sam Rinpoche continues this immense work to benefit many. Through creative and engaging approaches, Sam Rinpoche continuously shares new methods of bringing happiness and relief to people from all walks of life, regardless of their religious faith. Sam Rinpoche also maintains close contact with Ganden Monastery. through his constant practice of generosity and with a deeply altruistic motive, he continues to frequently sponsor Ganden's work and activities. Be inspired by His Eminence Sam Tulku Rinpoche's work and live at www.samtulku.com and share in his personal views, thoughts, and news on his blog at blog.samtulku.com. Now the preface, page 13. Ask questions, learn and practice. It is very good to ask questions and to infer. I welcome questions and I thank you for asking them. It is good to ask questions on things that you want to know about. In traditional and older forms of Buddhism, students are not encouraged to ask questions. You are advised to stay quiet and listen while the teachers speak. When the teachings end, you would probably not have the chance to ask questions or clear any misunderstandings. I'm different in this respect. I like it when my students ask questions. You are supposed to ask. You are supposed to learn and understand. Then, when you practice, your practice will be based on logic and understanding. Even if you do not want to practice, you will still have an understanding of the teachings. What I would like is that from whatever you have asked and learned, and from whatever I have clarified, you should start to practice. Do not just sit there forever and ask questions and never practice, nor put what you have learned into practice. You should ask questions, learn, practice. You should practice whatever you are clear on and understand. And of course, not practice anything you are not clear on or do not understand. If you are clear on compassion and forgiveness, then practice that. When you are clear on Lama Tsongkhapa, then do this practice. Do not make up lame excuses and say things like, I do not understand it, so I won't do it. That is actually just your monkey mind saying, I do not want to practice. If you understand the benefits of reading a Dharma book, do not say, I do not want to read the Dharma book because I do not understand it. The reason you do not understand the Dharma book is because you have not read it. Do not only put what you have learned into practice when you are in a good mood, when you are in danger, or when things are not going right. Put what you have learned into practice every day, all the time. Practicing what you have learned in the Dharma all the time is very important because it will benefit many people, including yourself. Dharma gives you this kind of knowledge. This is what we are doing when we have Dharma talks. We are sharing knowledge. I'm not talking down to you. I am not criticizing you, and I'm not telling you that you are bad because I am part of you. I am the same as you. I wish only to share with you the incredible wisdom and knowledge taught by the Buddha. Some of us may think that we do not want to practice or strive to become a Buddha because we will not have as much of a good time as we are having now if we become a Buddha. Trust me, it is more fun being a Buddha than not being a Buddha. A Buddha can keep everything he has and any wealth he receives, reincarnate anywhere at any time, in any body or any form or body, and then leave anytime he wishes to. A Buddha does not fall sick. Nothing negative happens to him, and he is universally liked by everyone who meets him. Do not choose to stay here and not be a Buddha. Choose to become a Buddha and then come back here if you need to. It is more fun. It is great to be rich, beautiful, and live a fabulous life, etc. But when we die in each lifetime, we still come back here to samsara. We must also realize that each time we die, what happens to us after death is like buying a lottery ticket. We do not know what we will get or where we will end up. It is like going to a casino to gamble. How many times do you actually win? You might throw a dice, deal out cards, or play on the one-armed bandits. But whether you win anything or not is up to chance. It is the same when you do not practice the Dharma. When you die, you are buying a lottery ticket for your next life. Do not only think about your next life, you should also think about the one after that and all your other future lives. If you are rich now, it does not mean you will be also, you will be also, it does not mean you will be also be rich and well in your next life and future lives. You can ensure that you will always be okay now and in your future lives through mind transformation, having knowledge and understanding the Dharma and practicing Dharma. Practice the Dharma whenever you can. You can live as you are. Enjoy what you are right now. Enjoy what you have right now and practice the Dharma at the same time. Achieve what you can with a good motivation. Keep everything that you have and simultaneously practice the Dharma. Do not disengage, disconnect, or separate yourself from the Dharma, even when life is good and seems to be going well. If you separate yourself from the Dharma when life is good, because you think you do not need the Dharma and do not practice, you will regret it later, because life always goes up and down. If you only think of the Dharma when life goes down and you are desperate for help, it may be too late then to practice or reconnect with the Dharma. So that is where I end today with the introduction into Rinpoche's biography, and the preface, where Rinpoche teaches how important it is that we learn the Dharma. And at that part where Rinpoche says that playing the lottery or even going to the casino to gamble, I remember at one time Rinpoche had 7 of us going to the one of those lottery places where we went actually to Toto to buy tickets, and this was like 3 times a week for a month. And guess what? We were at the losing end. So as Rinpoche says, there's no guarantee of what will happen after we end this life and move on to the next. We do not know what kind of life we will have in the next life. So it is best that we prepare now when we are able and not take the chance, as samsara will always deal the hand that we may be at the losing end, and especially with karma thrown in. Oh God, don't leave it as that. So as Rinpoche says, practice the Dharma now. So that is the end of this session, and next session I'll be moving into the book itself, Rinpoche's teachings. And so I'll end this with a completion dedication in Tibetan. Jangjum Sencho Rinpoche, Makepa Namge Yishi, Kepa Nampa Mepayang, Gone Gondo Pewashu, Toni To Rinpoche, Makepa Namge Yishi, Kepa Nampa Mepayang, Gone Gondo Pewashu. Daso Jini Sapagi Wadi, Tantandroa Kuna Kampata, Jepa Jesu no Santrapai, Tamping Imporindu Sa Se Sho, Kewa Kuntu Yandala Madan, Drami Choki Palala Chochi, Sadam Nangi Yate Razone, Doje Changi Ngopanga Tusa. Gewadi nyuyuda lama sangyo droyone drowa chikia malupa de isala gopashu joki kyo posungapa chosunampa pewala geki samasi wadan tunki malu sangwasho dadan singi dosundan drewa songi latene gewa losantrapai tampayu riva gyushi ni modele sendele ni mingunyendele shi ni sentato dele pel kunchu sungi jingilo kunchu sungi ngodruso kunchu sungi trasi sho jeso nama kusen rap ting ching nam katrini chochu ke padang lo sam tempe dro me sap sungi dro e munsa tato ni gyushi gang rira we ko we shinkam dem pendan de o malu gyo ne charin se wanten singet soi chape shiri paru den gyushi Home dompe ngodro malupa den dala salduso kodan dempa longchot nam ke paso shik shukten sel. Thank you for joining me, and please do join me for my next session.